Hola amigos, hoy estamos con un nuevo video sobre un análisis del testimonio del ex mejor amigo de Johnny Depp. El que decía ser su hermano, ahora está testificando en contra de Johnny Depp. Quédense atentos.
It wasn't like crazy rock and roll house. No, it was just. But I wouldn't call it abuse.
What word would you use instead of abuse?
Getting high.
Pero empecemos comentando quién es este señor. Su nombre es Bruce Witkin. Ha sido el mejor amigo de Johnny Depp durante varias décadas. Incluso en los años 70 conformaron una banda The Kids. Los dos están a la derecha en la imagen y posteriormente conformaron la banda The Hollywood Vampires una vez que ya estaban mayores. Después de un juicio donde él testificó que Johnny Depp usaba drogas, se terminó la relación de amistad. Pero no por esto él debía traicionar a su amigo Johnny Depp y testificar en su contra en el caso de difamación que ahora está en boga. Quizás siempre le tuvo envidia y nunca fue un verdadero amigo. Ya que ambos habían empezado juntos, Johnny Depp consiguió más en la vida, o quizás por la apariencia de Johnny Depp.
Okay. Getting high on cocaine?
Yeah, once in a while, if I saw it, I mean, a handful of times I saw it. I don't think he liked to do it in front of me.
El enfoque del testimonio de este señor se resume básicamente en el consumo de drogas de Johnny Depp. Es por esto que a este señor se les hace preguntas de cuánto consumía Johnny Depp, de qué tipo de sustancias consumía y si es que también veía a algún doctor para quedarse y permanecer sobrio.
Did Mr. Depp's drugs or alcohol ever impact the band when you were bandmates or its music performances?
We were all young. No, we were kids. We all did bad stuff then.
Was there a time that you believed that Mr. Depp needed help with substance abuse?
As a friend, yeah.
And do you know who Dr. Kipper is?
Oh, yeah.
And what do you know about Dr. Kipper in relation to Mr. Depp?
He was a doctor brought on, I believe, to help him get sober. He was a sober doctor. And I believe he had a nurse with Johnny and a nurse with Amber.
Y aquí es donde Bruce trata de hundir a Johnny cuando dice que sí, que como amigo piensa que Johnny necesita apoyo para superar las drogas. Además, habla que tanto Johnny como Amber necesitaban de enfermeras. Y en este caso se está hablando de apoyo médico para superar la afección a las drogas. ¿De qué lado está jugando Bruce?
Did you ever observe forgetfulness in Mr. Depp after he'd been drinking or using substances?
Forgetfulness? No, I think that he's got a pretty good memory, but, my personal experience with him, no.
El hecho de que Bruce haya testificado que no notó anteriormente pérdida de memoria en Johnny Depp beneficia a Johnny Depp porque Amber Heard anteriormente en sus testimonios afirmó que Johnny Depp se olvidaba las cosas. La abogada entonces le pregunta si Johnny Depp era intenso o celoso con sus parejas, a lo que Bruce confirma que sí. Él dice que Johnny Depp era celoso con su ex esposa Lori Ann Allison y que la celaba con el actor Nick Cage, que sería Nicolas Cage, y que también había sido celoso su expareja Vanessa Paradis. La abogada entonces le pregunta si es que había notado que tenía celos de Amber Heard, a lo que también Bruce responde que sí, que Johnny se ponía celoso cuando Amber estaba filmando películas y que él no podía vigilarla.
And have you noticed a certain intensity of Mr. Depp's relationships?
Yes.
And have you ever observed Mr. Depp exhibit any jealousy when he's been in a relationship?
Yes.
And do you remember when?
I go all the way back to my sister-in-law. I mean, you can definitely have a jealous streak in him.
Can you remember any specific examples?
You know, when he was younger, he was jealous of Nick Cage or jealous of Adam Ant because my sister-in-law knew them.
And was besides that initial time period, did he ever tell you about any jealousy with any other women or any other times?
Yeah. You know, he brought up a few with Vanessa, which were ridiculous. A lot of it was in his head and not in reality. You know what I mean?
And what about with Amber? Did you ever encounter any talk from JD of jealousy with respect to Amber?
Yeah, there were a couple mentions if she was doing a movie with some guy or stuff like that.
In terms of jealousy, would anything make Mr. Depp more bothered or less bothered?
Like I said, it would if she was on a film or doing something that he couldn't be around it to see what was going on, I think he'd work himself up.
Y dejamos lo mejor para el final. A pesar de que Bruce es parte de los testigos de Amber Heard, en la fase de preguntas más importantes de su testimonio, él niega que hubo violencia. Niega que él vio violencia.
Smoking weed.
So I think your prior testimony was that you've not observed arguments between Mr. Depp and Amber. Is that correct, or is that wrong?
I've never seen them physically abuse each other. No. I don't remember if people were crying. I don't remember any of that stuff. It was just like a blur to me. You know, I don't remember if I talked to her. I'm sure I probably said everything's gonna be all right. Like by the time I got there, you can tell there was a vibe in the house, but there's nothing I could witness.
What was the vibe in the house?
Yeah, just people, you know, a little bit of an edge, you know. And look, I got called down there at 3 a.m. and there's the mom up. I mean, it was obviously, to me, something went down, but I didn't see anything.
And I think today you testified to seeing a bruise, but is it fair to say that you have no knowledge, one way or another, of violence?
Not personal knowledge, no.
You mentioned before that Mr. Depp has pushed you away in the last 4 years. Is that right?
Yes.
Nunca los vi
has Mr.
abusar
Depp ever admitted being
físicamente
violent
el
to you?
uno del otro.
No.
No vi
With
nada.
anyone?
No tengo un conocimiento personal.
No.
Esas fueron las frases que usó Bruce para negar que hubo violencia en la relación de Johnny Depp y Amber Heard. Por eso es que varias personas empezaron a comentar y preguntarse de qué lado está en realidad Bruce. Espero les haya gustado este video, amigos. Era un análisis en total del testigo Bruce Witkin. No olvides darle like al video y suscribirte para estar al tanto sobre más análisis de este caso.